Away for Zach Bierman. Salvatore still on third base. Elliott from the stretch comes home, misses away with a fastball to start off the at-bat to Bierman, who flew out to Reese Albert back in the first inning. Righty on lefty, 1-0 delivery. This runs inside, 2-0 on Bierman, who leads the Kettleers with 10 runs batted in. Could pick up number 11 with a base knock here. Salvatore, a lead off of third base. 2-0 pitch, off speed and right down Main Street for a strike. 2-1 the count on Bierman, the number 2 man for Cotuit. Red Sox up 1-0 in the top of the third with 2 outs as Elliott tries to work out of a jam. 2-1 on the way to Bierman. That a called strike right at the belt. Nice job by Elliott to battle back in this count. 1 strike away of getting out of trouble.
See if he throws something out of the strike zone right here. Bierman, 21 Ks on the season, second in the Cape League.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That drilled but foul down the right side. Count will remain at 2-2. Salvatore leading off the inning with a double over the head of Albert. He was sacrificed to third by Oviedo and Robertson. Then grounding out to Dashbach, who made a spectacular play to save a run. 2-2 to Bierman. Swing and a miss, just fouled though. Just nicked that one that was burying in the dirt. Just able to stay alive.
If I'm Elliott, I'll throw that pitch again. With those 21 strikeouts, only 3 walks on this Cape League summer for Bierman. Shows he'll be willing to go chase something.
Elliott, a long look in at Kerner. Gets the signs and fires in the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Jensen, Elliott's first strikeout, couldn't have come at a better time as he gets out of the jam. 1-0 lead for the Red Sox remains as we go to the home half of the third. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Home half of the third inning, Red Sox with a 1-0 lead over the Kettleers here on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon in Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Dana Gray, TJ Mathewson here with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. The holiday weekend before July 4th. Population on Cape Cod rising by the minute. As the tourists flood down and see some good baseball as well. Here's Kerner swinging through the first offering from Baker. Back out for the third inning of work. Worked a perfect 1-2-3 in the second inning. Got DeLuca, Quintana, and Kass. 0-1 to Adam Kerner. Nabs the outside corner. Quickly, 0-2 on the catcher for the Red Sox, who came up with that big hit a couple nights ago in Harwich in extra innings. Signature moment. 0-2, he fights it off, stays alive.
Drove in 2 of the 3 YD runs in that game. One coming in the second, and then the big one coming in the 11th.
No outs in the bottom of the third. No one on base. Adam Kerner at the dish. Facing John Baker, the righty. He deals this one bounding over to short. Oviedo up with it. Lost the throw over to first in time to get Kerner for the first out of the inning. Zach Ashford will plate for the second time this afternoon, grounding out to the third baseman Jones to begin the ball game. Leading the Red Sox in plate appearances, tops in the Cape League as well. First pitch to the lefty, fastball he takes for a strike at the knees. Leads Whitey with 10 runs scored. Guy that gets on base often and has got speed to get around. Here's the 0-1, another grounder. This one to Salvatore at second. He's got it over to first. 2 quick ground outs, and there's 2 away. Two outs in the bottom of the third. Baker has retired 6 in a row. Now we'll face David Hamilton, shortstop from Texas, making his Red Sox debut. 5'11", 170. First pitch off speed and hangs high, missing the strike zone. Baker from the windup deals this one, grounded over to the first base coach, Dan Jaffe, he's upset with himself. He thought he had that bare hand style, was making a play in front of the fans, and he dropped it.
Got to let them all down.
1-1 to Hamilton is run inside, and he fights it off foul. Ball and 2 strikes, and that might have broken the bat a bit of Hamilton. He's walking to the dugout to get a fresh new piece of lumber. Ball and 2 strikes on the shortstop for the Red Sox with 2 away in the bottom of the third. Whitey with 1 run off of 2 hits. Those coming back-to-back in the first inning. Andrew Smashbach crushed a double in the first inning over the head of Will Robertson in left. Got to second base, and then Reese Albert, he brought him in just in the next plate appearance with an RBI single. 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outer third. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by John Baker. We're through 3 full innings from Red Wilson. A 1-0 lead for YD. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu. Top of the 4th inning from Red Wilson Field, a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Just the 1 run that came in the bottom of the first inning. We've been scoreless since. Jensen Elliott has been sending down Kettleers left and right. He's given up 2 hits, but got out of a leadoff double to Salvatore back in the 3rd inning. Big strikeout of Zach Bierman to end the frame. He faces Tolia here, first offering off the plate with a fastball. Tolia, the tall right fielder from UCLA, grounded out to Dashbach to end the first inning. Elliott into the motions, delivers the 1-0 right down the middle with a fastball to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Tolia, one of those returners for Cotuit, batting 190 entering today. Here's the 1-1. This into the glove of Christian Koss on a line out. Nice job from Koss to get a good hop on it, follow it into the mitt for out number 1.
That looked like a chance that was hit a little bit harder. It might get out into the right center field gap, but kind of died and didn't even make it out of the infield. Good job by Christian Koss, ranging to his right for the first out.
Jacob Goldfarb to plate in the 4th inning with 1 away, bases empty. Kettleers trailing 1-0. Elliott from the windup. Fires home. Strike on the outside corner. Goldfarb with a slightly inside-out stance in the lefty box. 0-1 pitch. Another fastball. Spoiled out of play to the left side. Nothing into the count on the four-man for Cotuit.
32 strikes across just 15 balls for Elliott so far.
0-2 wasted away. Ball and 2 strikes.
It's been really good around the strike zone. I mentioned it back in the first inning, but working here in the fourth, still going strong.
1-2 offering to Goldfarb is low in the dirt, blocked by Kerner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Baker's been phenomenal as well. Very accurate. Had the blemish in the first inning. Since then, he's been extremely solid. 2-2 offering from Elliott. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bottom dropped out. Goldfarb fished. Second strikeout for Elliott, and there's 2 away.
Looked like he threw him the changeup right there. Starts it right out on the knees, and then swings right over the top of it. Disappears out of the strike zone. Great pitch there from Elliott for out number 2.
2 away. Elliott now to face Brundage, also batting from the left side. 0 for 1 with a ground out from the windup. First offering, fastball at the shoelaces. So Elliott in start number 3 right now. First one you might want to forget, just the 4 innings in the loss. Comes back with a bounce back against the Mariners, though. The 1-0 upstairs, 2-0, and that Harwich game, I think, was a good response from Jensen. Not only get the victory, bring down the ERA, up the strikeouts as well. 2-0. Fastball on the inner third, called strike. 2-1 on Bo Brundage. Elliott, 6'6", 230 on the bump, and deals the 2-1. A liner but foul past the stands on the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the 5-man for Cotuit.
Helps when you get the run support that he got in that contest.
Sure does. Offensive explosion for YD over the Mariners. 2-2 on the way. Shot right back at Elliott, and he's got it in the mitt on the broken bat. 1-2-3 inning for the Oklahoma State product, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 lead for YD. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox clinging to that 1-0 lead over the Kettleers. Final regular season matchup between these two squads, East versus West. Cotuit taking the first 2 doubleheader matchups on Father's Day, 5-4 and 11-3. Whitey with a nice response win, though, just over a week ago. 6-1 victory right here at Red Wilson, and they lead 1-0 into the bottom of the 4th. John Baker back out there to toe the rubber for the Kettleers, facing Dashbach, Albert, and Zubia expected. DeLuca to follow if anyone can reach. First pitch to Dashbach. He swings and nubs it down the third baseline, foul. Dash had that big lofting hit over the head of Robertson back in the first inning, came around to score the lone run of the ball game. Baker into the motions, 0-1. This one driven out into deep left field. Going back is Robertson, and you can just kiss that one goodbye. Andrew Dashbach smashes it over the fence. His third homer of the summer, and the Red Sox double their lead. It's 2-0 YD.
Well, Baker has been around the strike zone all game. He's been able to get away with it a little bit. The YD hitters hitting a lot of ground balls, but Andrew Dashbach seeing the ball really well from Baker. First time, a booming double. This time, elevates even more and deposits it way over that left field fence for a home run.
High fives for Andrew Dashbach as the Red Sox exit the dugout and take a 2-0 lead. Albert fights off the first pitch, and that was just a no-doubter right off the bat.
No doubt at all. His first 2 home runs, one to the opposite field, one kind of just a wall scraper.
0-1, missing at the shoelaces to even the count up at a ball and a strike.
In the game earlier this week against Orleans, that one was up against the wall. This one, no doubt.
1-1 to Albert, soft grounder past a diving Bierman and into right field for a base hit. These two guys know how to do it. Back-to-back hits for Dashbach and Albert in inning 1, now in inning 4. YD with a 2-0 lead and starting to heat up.
These two guys, you mentioned, so locked in at the plate. Reese Albert now, that is 4 consecutive games with multiple hits. That's hard to do, especially up here on the Cape, but that one just a seeing eye ground ball that managed to find its way into right field, perfectly placed.
Here's Zach Zubia, swings at the first pitch, bounces it over to the glove of Jones. He's got it, only plays to first in time to get Zach. Albert was off with the pitch, took second with ease, and now another runner in scoring position for the Red Sox. Only one out, and the Oregon Duck, Johnny DeLuca, to the plate. So a fielder's choice on Zach Zubia. Red Sox 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th over the Kettleers. Baker, the righty, holding the glove at his chest, glances back at second, now delivers home, missing away in the second at-bat to DeLuca. The first time, he picked up his first strikeout, swinging to get Johnny to begin the second inning. Albert off of second, righty on lefty matchup here in the 4th inning. 1-0 to DeLuca, swings at it and shoots it softly back up the middle for a base hit. Around third base goes Albert. He'll come in to score an RBI single for Johnny DeLuca, and the Red Sox have a 3-0 lead.
Similar to Albert's hit, just finds the right spot on the infield with a soft ground ball, able to catch just enough juice and get its way into center field. And with the speed of Reese Albert out there on second base, no chance to throw him out at home plate. YD extends the lead here in the 3rd.
1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Nick Quintana will step to the dish for the second time this afternoon. Runner on first is DeLuca. Decent lead with Bierman holding him on. First pitch to Quintana, nabs the outside corner for a strike.
No, Baker's been roughed up a little bit this inning, but how about this? In this game, 36 strikes, just 8 balls.
0-1 to Quintana. He swings at and skies it out into right field, ranging towards the foul line as Tolia makes the grab for the second out of the inning. Keeps DeLuca at first. Contact for Quintana, but there's 2 away. So Christian Koss will dig in, trying to extend this 4th inning. Whitey's already played it 2. Andrew Dashbach with his team-leading 3rd home run of the summer. A solo shot to begin the frame. Albert would single, come around to score on the RBI single from Johnny DeLuca. Baker throws over to first. Looks like they have DeLuca, and they do indeed. Johnny DeLuca picked off, and that's how the 4th inning will end, but not before Andrew Dashbach puts his print on it. YD leads it 3-0 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Wicked Thrift and Pop Rock Vintage is located at 533 Route 28 in West Yarmouth, Massachusetts. They are one of the top 10 thrift stores in Massachusetts and is the only clothing resale store on Cape Cod that buys your clothes outright. Stop in and check out their fun selection today. Through 4 full innings at Red Wilson Field, YD expanding the lead back in the 4th. Now a 3-0 advantage over the Kettleers. Dashbach homering. Albert coming around to score on the RBI single from DeLuca puts it at 3-0. And Jensen Elliott back out to toe the rubber for the Red Sox. 56 pitches to get the first 12 outs of the ball game. Now goes against Corey Wood in the 6th hole. First pitch, off speed, hangs low for a ball. So 1-0 on Corey Wood, who has one of the 2 singles for the Kettleers. 1-0 to the lefty, cut on and hit through the hole on the right side. Base knock leadoff for Corey Wood. Good way to start the Kettleers inning, trying to respond to the Red Sox offense.
Goes back to that right side of the infield with his hit. Had one like that back in the 2nd inning. Guy Wood that entering this game really scuffling. Just a 118 batting average. 2 for 2 so far today.
Man aboard for Eric Jones. Most hits on the Kettleers lineup. Trying to advance Wood into scoring position. Elliott, the righty deals, misses away. Elliott from Oklahoma State had Tommy John surgery back in 2017, the April of that year. Now playing for the Red Sox on the Cape. 1-0 to Jones. That right down the middle for a strike. Good baseball family as well. His brother Jake, he pitches in the Chicago White Sox organization. He went to Oklahoma. Jensen went to Oklahoma State. 1-1, giving a ride out into deep left field. Albert going back to the warning track and catches it on the run. Nice catch there from Albert. Got a good read on it right off the bat. And there's one away. Salvatore to dig in for the 2nd time this afternoon. Doubling to lead off the 3rd inning. Was moved over to 3rd on the sac bunt with just 1 out. But Elliott got out of the jam. Keep the Kettleers off the board. Snap throw over to 1st. Dashbach, no tag applied as Wood slides back in. Slight wind gusts going out towards left center that helped that Dashbach homer back in the 4th, though. I don't know if it needed anything. Next pitch is smacked out into center field. Ashford a couple steps to his left and makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Couple of quick flyouts here after Wood singled to lead off the inning.
You talk about perfect hitting conditions here today. First of all, the ideal ballpark here at Red Wilson. 342 down the left field line, 352 to center, 338 down the right field line, mid-80s. Slight wind blowing out to left center field. Just a hitter's dream.
Wood still on first base. Oviedo to plate with 2 away in the 5th. First pitch, a fastball off the chest protector of Kerner into the backstop. He scampers to pick it up and keep Wood just at 2nd. Now a runner in scoring position for Cotuit in the 5th inning, trying to respond to the Red Sox 3-0 lead. Oviedo laid down that perfect sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd inning that advanced Salvatore over to 3rd. Gave himself up. Now trying to bring in Wood from 2nd. 1-0. Outside. 2 balls. YD had a 3-game winning streak entering last night. That was snapped at the hands of the Chatham Anglers. YD moves into 2nd place in the East. Harwich regains. 2-0, cut on and lofted foul, out of play. Dashbach giving it a run towards the bleachers, and he won't get there in time. Good effort from the Red Sox first baseman, though that was going to be tough right off the get-go.
Yeah, he covers a lot of ground out there, but behind first base, he's made a couple of really nice catches going back over his shoulder into foul territory.
Just not enough to get that one. Goes as a strike, though. 2-1 with 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. YD up 3 over the Kettleers, though Cotuit threatening with Corey Wood off of 2nd base. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch to Oviedo. He flies this one out into shallow left center field. Albert coming on. He won't get it. He falls in for a base hit in no man's land. Wood scores easily from second. Cotuit on the board. It's 3-1 Red Sox.
Yeah, perfectly placed. Little blue fly ball out into that Bermuda triangle in shallow left center field. And it's a long way for Hamilton, the shortstop, Albert, the left fielder, and Ashford, the center fielder, to come get that baseball. Just find some grass in the outfield, and the Kettleers get on the board.
3-1 now YD in the top of the fifth. Still 2 outs. Oviedo on first base in the top of the order, and Will Robertson at the plate, batting from the left side. First pitch he swings at and skies it foul out of play towards a bunch of fans down the left side bleachers near the Red Sox dugout. Seems like the muggy and hot temperatures hasn't scared away the fans. Still a lot on a great day, great Saturday in Yarmouth. Elliott setting, right the chin, deals the 0-1 just outside with a fastball. Tried to place it against Robertson, ball and a strike.
Yeah, get a nice umbrella, get your lawn chairs, find a nice spot, and behind home plate or out in the outfield. I can't think of much better things to do on a Sunday evening. Saturday, excuse me.
Next offering, tails inside, off speed, 2 balls and a strike. Hey, I'm feeling fine. We've got the air conditioner on in the press box. Feeling pretty luxurious.
Lucky us, we got the only air conditioner in the press box sitting about 10 feet behind us.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No,
2
not
outs
at all.
In the fifth. Runner on first, 2-1 pitch. Off speed and stays off the plate. 3 balls and a strike on Will Robertson. Creighton product who's been lighting it up for the Kettleers. Leading Cotuit with a .333 average entering today. .3-1 pitch, cut on and miss, swung over it. Full count created with 2 outs in the fifth. Wood has scored to put the Kettleers on the board. He singled to begin the inning. Jensen Elliott got 2 quick flyouts, but Oviedo with the RBI single pushed Wood in. Elliott will step off, asking for the signs once again from Kerner. Catcher tonight for the Red Sox. Had the night off last night. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, he got him. Bottom drops right out of it. Strikeout number 3 for Jensen Elliott, and he gets out of the jam with minimal damage. 3-1 lead for YD as we go to the home half of the fifth. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Red Jacket Resorts is your place for all family fun. With numerous locations located around the Cape, you'll find the perfect fit for your vacation. Visit redjacketresorts.com for all of their locations and availability. 8, 9, and 1 due up in the Red Sox order here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead Cotuit by a score of 3-1. So Christian Koss, the 8-hole hitter for YD, will step in for the second time today. He'll watch a fastball miss inside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Haven't seen that a lot today from John Baker, who's been about as on as can be, as Koss will line that one into right field for a base hit. On the next pitch, just finds it right between the second baseman Salvatore and the first baseman Bierman on a frozen rope line drive, finds the outfield grass. Leadoff runner on for YD here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Adam Kerner, the catcher, the backstop for YD today. grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Ashford is going to collect the bat of Christian Koss, gets it from home plate umpire Bob Gardner, and will jog back to the YD dugout. So Baker, besides the 3 runs, has been around the strike zone all game. 38 strikes across just 9 balls. Still only walked 1 batter this season. Still staring at his catch. Now throw on over to first in Bierman, and Koss dives back in time. Here, working in his 21st inning of the season, still only walked 1 batter. 1. Don't see that too often. He's set again on the rubber. Here's the first pitch on the way to Kerner. That one's lofted out into left field. In comes Robertson. He has a beat on it, and he'll squeeze that one coming in towards the infield dirt for out number 1.
Just can't stress enough how important it was for the Red Sox to get out and score the first runs of this ball game. The way that last night played out against the Anglers, to get a little offense early and help out Jensen Elliott, it's proved wonders here in the middle innings.
Cotuit able to get 1 run back in the top of the 5th inning. RBI single off the bat of Adam Oviedo, but YD, thanks to an Andrew Dashbach home run, among those ahead by a score 3-1. As Koss dives back in time over at first base, Baker keeping an eye on him over there. Zach Ashford will stride to the plate for the 3rd time today, grounded out both times. Baker winds and fires home the first pitch, bounces in there, blocked by Goldfarb, kept it in front of him. Koss not going anywhere at first. Beautiful 80-degree day here in South Yarmouth. Some Cape Cod League baseball between the YD Red Sox and the Cotuit Kettleers. TJ Matheson alongside Dana Gray for this one. We thank you for listening in. Baker set again on the rubber, and he'll turn and throw over to first at Koss, and they got him picked off. Koss out there in no man's land. Bierman will throw to the shortstop Oviedo, chase Koss back, and Koss still in the pickle. Now it's Baker. He'll throw it. That looks like the second baseman Salvatore, and he finally tags Koss out as Koss tries to avoid the tag on the infield grass. And there's out number 2.
Now, he gave it a good run, got back through about 4 exchanges, but Christian just got leaning the wrong way, and once that happens and you're stuck in no man's land, that's a tough way to get out of it.
So now 2 down for Ashford. Still no count on him. Here's the first pitch from Baker now out of the windup again. He'll miss away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Now, that's 2 1-0 counts this inning for Baker. Don't think he's done that very much so far here today. Here's the 1-0. That'll catch the inside corner. Even up the count at a ball and a strike. YD a run coming back in the 1st, 2 in the 4th, and Cotuit a run coming back in the top of the 5th. It's the wind in the 1-1, lined out into left field, and that'll drop in front of the left fielder Robertson for a base hit. Zach Ashford checks in with a single here in the 5th, extends his hitting streak to 8 games here in the 3rd week of the season. Now another 2-out base runner for YD, and that'll bring up David Hamilton.
That just makes that error by Christian Koss look even a little more costly, because now you'd probably be looking at runners on first and second, maybe even at the corners with only 1 out.
Yeah, all depending on how good of a jump Koss gets from first. Baker will step off and look Ashford back to the bag at first. Not too big of a lead over there. Just getting off. Now he'll slowly creep off, being held on by Bierman. Baker winds. Here's the first pitch on the way to Hamilton. Misses high and away for ball 1. Ashford did a little bit of a fake steal over there at first. Took 1 step, but didn't go anywhere. Shade starting to creep onto the field with the sun setting here at DY Regional High School. It's the wind in the next pitch to Hamilton. Catches the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on the YD shortstop today, making his debut out of the University of Texas. Starting shortstop for the Longhorns. It's the wind in the next pitch on the way to Hamilton. Popped up on the infield. Who's got it? Baker looking for it. Now it'll be the 3rd baseman, Jones, ranging in front of the pitcher's mound. He's there, and he'll catch it for out number 3. YD leaves a runner stranded here in the 5th. We head to the 6th. YD in front of Cotuit. 3-1. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Cape Cod 5 is your local and trusted bank that can help you with any banking needs. With branches located around Cape Cod, you can put banking to ease. Visit www.capecod5 today to find the branch nearest you. Harder the order. Due up for the Cotuit Kettleers, top half of the 6th inning. They trail YD by a score of 3-1. That lone Cotuit run coming in the top half of the 5th inning. Adam Oviedo, an RBI single. Jensen Elliott, for the first time this season, out on the mound to start the 6th inning. So out of the windup, fire home the first pitch to Bierman. Misses outside for ball 1. Longest outing on the season for Elliott. Came back in his last start, June 22nd versus Harwich, 4 2/3. Next pitch on the way to Bierman. Misses low and inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count on Zach.
Chandler Fidel is warming up in the pen, so possibly a short leash for Elliott here in the 6th inning.
Out of the windup again. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and fouled down the third base side and get out of play behind the bleachers, behind the YD dugout along that third base side. Fans filed in pretty well here on a really hot, muggy day in Yarmouth. Out of the windup again. Here's the 2-1. So that's lined out into the gap in right center field. Back is DeLuca. He won't be able to get that. It one-hops up off the wall. DeLuca will field and throw on in, but not before Bierman stops in at second with a leadoff double here in the 6th. Got all of that one. Got it out on the grass and got enough wheels to get all the way to the wall. And a leadoff double for Cotuit here in the 6th.
Great contact from Bierman just to follow it right onto the head and drive it. Placed it well, perfectly in between Ashford and DeLuca. Scott Pickler staying in the dugout for now.
So here's Michael Tolia, the right fielder today for Cotuit, to stride in. So far 0 for 2, a ground out and a pop out to Christian Koss at second. First pitch from Elliott over on the outside corner for strike 1. A slow start to the season, just a 190 average in 7 games for Tolia. But all Pac-12 first team this season at UCLA. Next pitch on the way, misses outside for a ball, 1-1. The count on Tolia. He's one of the best hitters on the Pac-12, 336 average, 11 home runs, 58 RBIs, as well as 24 doubles. It's the one in the next pitch, check swing, and he went around, said the home plate umpire, Bob Gardner. And Elliott's now ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Second season with the Kettleers, 248 last season, 6 doubles, 27 RBIs. Out of Gig Harbor, Washington. Elliott set out of the stretch, looks back at the runner. Bierman off of second. He'll kick his leg up and turn around, look Bierman back to the bag. No one holding him on. Bierman not a big threat to steal out there. Though does have 2 stolen bases on the team, tied for 3rd on the team. Here's the 1-2, misses low for ball 2, 2-2 the count.
Just trying to keep Bierman as close to that second base bag as possible. So if Tolia does dunk something in here to the infield, maybe Bierman has to hold at third base.
And usually the best arm in your outfield, Quinn Cotton, getting the day off today. Elliott winds and fires home the 2-2. That'll tail outside. Count now full on Tolia, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The cleanup hitter Jacob Goldfarb waits on deck. Kerner out to have a word with his pitcher.
This has got to be the best pitch of his outing so far right here in a prime situation. Surely feels like this isn't a 2-run game. It seems like the Red Sox have been in control pretty much from the get-go, but it is a very close ball game, and it can change with one swing of the bat, the power that Tolia has. And now Scott Pickler will stroll out and possibly go to the bullpen. Fidel, tall lefty, has been warming for about an inning now.
It's the first time all season. We mentioned that Elliott is out here working in the 6th inning. Pickler will make his way out to the mound. Talking with his infielders and his starting pitcher. Hasn't made the sign yet. But still the heart of the order due up for Cotuit. Tolia at the plate. Goldfarb standing on deck as he'll signal down to the dugout, and that will do it for Jensen Elliott here in the 6th inning. Chandler Fidel in to pitch for the Red Sox. So we'll take a quick break after this pitching change. Chandler Fidel now on the mound for the YD Red Sox in relief of Jensen Elliott. His night's done after 5+, 5 hits, 1 run as of now. He's responsible for the runner. Bierman standing out on second base. But the new pitcher, Chandler Fidel, out of Arkansas, University of Arkansas, Little Rock. 4 games this season for the Red Sox so far as the lanky left to a wind and fire home the 3-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Tolia swung over the top of a Chandler Fidel curveball, and I think you come in with a 3-2 count there for Fidel, and Elliott not quite the looping breaking ball that Fidel has. And Scott Pickler, the strategy there, having Michael Tolia go from the left side to the right side and then say, hey, here's this curveball, and Tolia couldn't handle it.
And a strikeout number 4, technically, for Jensen Elliott. Ties his season high, the 4 he had back against Harwich. And I think we're going to get a change here for the Kettleers. Roberts strolling down the third baseline, trying to respond to that arm choice that Scott Pickler went with, putting the lefty Fidel in.
So Jacob Goldfarb scheduled to bat in this 4 spot. It looks like his afternoon is done.
It's going to be Zach Humphreys coming in to make a plate appearance, and that makes sense as he'll get to bat from the right side against the lefty Fidel.
Zach Humphreys, sophomore backstop from TCU, will step in for his first at-bat of the day, Goldfarb ending his day with a ground out and a strikeout, 0 for 2. So he'll step in against Fidel. He'll step off Koss, showing him daylight out there at second, but no throw. Fidel looks in, gets his sign from Kerner. Looks back at the runner, Bierman at second, fires home the first pitch. A curveball drops right on the outside corner for strike 1. Fidel loves using that curveball. Almost throws it more than his fastball we've noticed this season.
I would say surely.
So he looks in, gets his sign again from Kerner working out of the stretch. So turn and throw, daylight play, and they got the runner hung up in between second and third. Now Quintana with the ball, throws it back. Now Hamilton will chase him down, will put on the wheels, and tag Bierman out for out number 2. Perfectly executed pickoff play by the Red Sox. Koss showing daylight, flashing behind the bag, and caught the runner Bierman leaning, and they got him for out number 2.
And it had been a almost toss just a few moments before where Koss and Fidel made sure they got their signs in order, and it paid off, worked wonders. Another batter erased off the paths for Cotuit.
And that'll close the line on Jensen Elliott as the next pitch in there to Humphreys is over on the outside corner. Surprise, surprise. Another curveball. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Fidel winds. Here's the 0-2. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. Didn't miss by much. Count now a ball and 2 strikes. Elliott's final line now, 5 innings, 5 hits. 1 run it was earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Fidel now in the windup, looks over his glove at Kerner, gets the sign. Here's the 1-2. Curveball foul down the third base line, off the YD dugout. That protective fence right in front of the YD dugout. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
You've got to think he's going with the curveball here, trying to put away this last hitter of the inning.
Out of the windup, here's the 1-2. Curveball just misses outside. Good call there, Dana.
Thanks.
The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Humphreys so far in this Cape League season, just a 192 average and 26 at-bats. It's the wind of the 2-2 from Fidel. That'll miss high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now on the new backstop for Cotuit. Just 2 RBIs for Humphreys. 5 strikeouts and 6 walks. He does have 2 stolen bases. Ties in with Zach Bierman. The man just got picked off of second for third on the Cotuit roster. 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner. Fidel backdoors him with that nasty hook for out number 3 here in the 6th. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. YD in front of Cotuit by a score of 3-1. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom half of the 6th inning, John Baker still out on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers, just cruising. Despite the 3 runs given up and around the strike zone all day, been efficient with his pitch count as he'll step on the rubber to start this 6th inning. Both starters out there on the rubber to start their respective 6th frames. Jensen Elliott didn't make it through his. We'll see what Baker... The result for him is here. First pitch to Andrew Dashbach on the inside corner for strike 1. Dashbach has had the number of Baker all day. Back in the first, a booming double off the left field wall, and back in the 4th, hit one over the fence. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss low for ball 1, 1-1 the count. That home run, quite a impressive sight to see. Deep over that left field fence beyond the scoreboard. The windup, here's the 1-1. Swing and fouled straight back by Dashbach. That'll make the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dashbach, one of the hottest hitters in this YD lineup over his last 10 games, a .353 average. As mentioned, besides yesterday, reached base in every single game. He's suited up as a Red Sox. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Hot misses high. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you knew that wasn't going to happen again today. Dashbach just too talented of a hitter to have a bad day like that back-to-back.
Here's the 2-2. That one's lofted out deep to the left center field. Back go the outfielders. It's off the wall in left center. Dashbach rounds the bag at first and will stop in at second base for another double. And just misses hitting it out by about 2 or 3 feet.
This guy just hits and hits and hits. Pulls it for power. Third time this afternoon that he's just driven something completely off of Baker, who for the most part had a really solid outing, but he just can't figure out Andrew Dashbach. And another guy he can't figure out is Reese Albert at the plate.
Both Albert and Dashbach collecting hits in every at-bat they've had today. Albert 2 for 2 to start this ball game, singled back in the first and also singled in the fourth. It's the first pitch on the way, fouled straight back by Albert. Counts 0-1. Albert now has had multiple hits in 4 straight ball games. Entering the day, hitting .333. Baker set again on the rubber. Dashbach takes his lead off of second. Peeks back at him. Here's the next pitch on the way. Popped up a bunt, but it'll get high and out of play right behind us. That was one of the farthest popped bunts we've seen on the season. The count now, a ball, no balls, and 2 strikes on Albert.
Now, unfortunately, you take away the element of surprise that you possibly could have had.
Now the third baseman, Jones, playing in on the grass. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Albert. Here's the offering. Fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Reese. Zach Zubia standing on deck. Looking to collect his first hit as a Red Sox. Get a chance to do it here in the 6th. No one out, a run in. 3-1 YD lead. Dashbach leads off of second. Here's the 1-2. Dribbled right back up the middle. Over is the shortstop, Oviedo. Fields throws to first, not in time. Reese Albert hustling down that first base line. Another perfectly placed ground ball that Oviedo able to get over there and field it. But the spin and the throw took too long, and the speed of Albert allows him to reach on the infield single.
It's now the third inning that Dashbach and Albert have hit back-to-back hits. I think Scott Pickler might have found something here with his 3 and 4 hitters.
Now Mike Roberts out of the dugout for Cotuit. An arm warming in that Cotuit bullpen way down that first base line, right in front of the trees in deep foul territory. Baker allows the first 2 men to reach here in the 6th. For YD now, 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors. And for the Kettleers, a run on 5 hits, no errors. Like Roberts going to leave him out there. Baker, even after allowing runners on the corners, now no one out in the 6th. Will continue through the YD lineup. And now Noah Campbell will bat in the spot of Zach Zubia. Finishes his evening 0 for 2. And Campbell will get a chance to bat from the left side. The game against Harwich on Wednesday from that left side. Hit his first home run as a Red Sox.
Not your typical pinch hitter. I mean, he leads the team in batting average coming into today, so not a bad spot to put him in with no outs and guys at the corner.
Runners take their leads from first and third. No one out to Campbell. First pitch on the way from Baker. Catches the outside edge for strike 1. Campbell, over his last 5 games, a .429 batting average. I'd say that's locked in. .385 over his last 10. Baker set again on the rubber. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss outside. 1-1 now the count on Campbell.
This is just a real chance, a real inning for the Red Sox to break this game open, because we were talking about it just a little bit a while ago. This seems like it could be a 4 or 5 run game. Still only a pair of runs the lead for the Red Sox.
It's the wind in the 1-1 to Campbell. That'll miss outside. 2-1 the count.
Especially to get it off a starter and Baker that's just been feeling it over his 2 previous starts. Get some run damage off him right now could be huge.
2-1 the count on Campbell. Here's the offering from Baker. That's popped up in foul territory along the third base line, and it will drift foul out into the section of fans out beyond that third base foul line. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Campbell. .345 batting average here in Game 17 of the season. Only game number 8 for Campbell, 29 at-bats. 2-2 the count on the pitch hitter. Here's the 2-2 to Campbell. Dribbled out to the first base side and through past Bierman into right field for a base hit. Coming home to score is Dashbach, and Noah Campbell checks in with a pinch hit RBI single here in the 6th, and the Red Sox extend their lead to 4-1.
Great job by Campbell just putting it in play, and even if Bierman fields that, having to go down and slide, there's a decent chance that Dashbach was going to score from third base, so he did his job. Red Sox tack on another, and still great opportunity to add a few more.
A few perfectly placed ground balls on the infield for YD today that have gotten through into the outfield for base hits. Now here's Johnny DeLuca. He had one of those back in the 4th inning, an RBI single, and then was caught stealing, picked off of first. As the new catcher behind the plate, Humphreys, looks into the dugout. Now gives the sign. Mike Roberts stays still out there in the dugout. We'll leave Baker in there. A run in here in the 6th. YD leads 4-1. Baker looks back at the runner at second. Fires home the first pitch to Luca. Popped up on the infield. Coming in from third is Jones. He squeezes it for out number 1. Another popped up bunt here in this inning by YD. We saw Reese Albert try that. Pops it up foul, and now DeLuca just pops it right to Jones at third for out number 1. That'll bring up Nick Quintana.
And he's going to get an earful from Scott Pickler on the way to the dugout. Trying to bunt on with a single, I would think there. Just one of those ones, make contact, start your run down the line. Just got under it a bit too much. Costly error.
Here's Quintana, flied out both times today. First time popped out to third back in the 2nd inning. Then flew out to right field in the 4th. See if he can get on the board with his first base hit here today. Baker still on the rubber for the Kettleers. It's the first pitch to Quintana. That'll catch the outside corner with an off-speed pitch. Not too many guys you get to go around the order 3 times and see the same pitcher. And we see YD cashing in with that here in the 6th inning. And we'll see if they can continue. Baker looks back at Albert at second, fires home the next pitch. That'll miss high and inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count on Quintana. Nick entering the day, just a .211 batting average. Did not play in the loss yesterday to Chatham, but one of the hotter YD bats. Last 10 games, .300 batting average. Here's the 1-1. That misses outside. 2-1 the count on Quintana.
You were talking about it earlier. Today's the kind of day that you could see some balls leave this ballpark. Dashbach already with one, sent a couple close. Quintana's been due for his first homer of the summer.
It's the 2-1 to Quintana. Fouled straight back over the first base side of home plate. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quintana, 14 home runs during the spring in Arizona, along with 17 doubles, a .314 batting average. We know he can hit. We know he has the power. We're just waiting for him to break out. Baker peeks back at Albert at second. He'll wind. Here's the 2-2. Check swing, and he goes around for strike 3, fooled by the off-speed pitch from Baker right there. Quintana just not able to hold up, and there's 2 down.
That's just a tough break for Quintana, trying to keep that from moving all the way around. He knew it the second that he started his motion that he'd already gone too far to break up.
Now here's Christian Koss trying to keep the inning alive. Had a single to lead off the 5th inning, but was picked off by Baker. Baker out there on the mound, still. Fire home the first pitch to Koss, fouls it straight back. Baker not away from completing 6 innings. YD leads, though, score of 4-1. And still threatening here in the 6th. Runners on first and second. It's the wind in the 0-1 to Koss. Lined into left field for a base hit. Getting the wave on from Scott Pickler at third is Reese Albert. The throw to the plate is in time. Great throw by Will Robertson out in left field. Just a cannon out there to gun down Reese Albert on the base paths for out number 3 here in the 6th, but not before Whitey checks in with another run on the board. This time, a Noah Campbell RBI single. They lead by a score of 4-1. You're listening to Whitey Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The Sea Dog Pub is located at 23 Whites Pass in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Is a great local pub to bring your family. From daily specials to a great menu, they are worth a stop in before or after a game. Top half of the 7th inning here at Red Wilson Field. YD a run in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They now lead by a score of 4-1 over the Cotuit Kettleers. Chandler Fidel still out on the mound for YD. Came in relief of Jensen Elliott through 5+. Fidel came in with a 3-2 count to Michael Tolia in that 6th inning. First pitch on the way to Bo Brundage, ripped into right field past Christian Koss at second base for a base hit. And on the first pitch of the 7th inning, Brundage stands over there on first, his first hit of the ball game. It's now 1 for 3. That'll bring up Corey Wood, the designated hitter, who has singled twice today. Entered the game really scuffling, 118 batting average. But 2 for 2 so far today. Both base hits to the right side. Fennell now with a runner off of first. Fires home the first pitch to Wood. That'll miss on the inside corner with the curveball. 1-0 the count on Wood.
It's a great job by Brundage to start off this inning because once you get late into counts with that curveball, the motion that Fidel has, it's tough to battle in.
Here's the 1-0. That'll catch the inside corner. Fidel drops another curveball in. Front doors, Corey Wood right there. Evens up the count at 1-1. Fidel holds that glove next to his face, gets the sign from Adam Kerner. Here's the 1-1. Curveball tries that front door again, but misses inside. Count now 2-1. On Wood. After Wood will be Eric Jones, the third baseman. 5, 6, and 7 due up in the Cotuit lineup. Fidel set again on the rubber. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses low. 3 balls and a strike on Wood. A ball away from reaching for the 3rd time today. Runner Brundage takes his lead off of first. He singled the lead off the inning. It's now Adam Kerner out from behind the plate to have a quick chat with Fidel. Scores from around the Cape League at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Whitecaps over the Orleans Firebirds by a score of 2-1. That one's in the top of the 7th. At Dorn Park in Bourne, no score between the Commodores and the Braves. Then at McKeon Park in Hyannis, no score between the Gatemen and the Harbor Hawks. That game in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Fidel still on the rubber. Now will throw on over to first. Brundage back in plenty of time. And still yet to get underway from Veterans Field. The first place in the Eastern Division Harwich Mariners travel to Chatham to face on the Anglers, who YD fell to yesterday. Fidel winds. Here's the 3-1. That one's popped up into right field. Semi-deep. There is Albert. He's underneath it, and he'll catch it for out number 1 here in the 7th.
You excited for that trip to Wareham tomorrow? You get your first look at Spillane Field and the gravel out there?
I'm. It's got to be a bucket list thing to go to all of the ballparks, Dana.
That was a very honest first
But
reaction
I am
from
very excited to go sit on the cage on top of the Wareham dugout.
Oh, yeah.
That one's also classic. And then,
Bring your glove.
can't forget Chili's. The only Chili's near the Cape right there in Wareham, as Fidel will throw on over to first. Brundage back in plenty of time.
I know. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it. I'm hightailing it out of here to go spend the holiday weekend with my family but you know what? Maybe I'll go to Chili's. Why not? Who am I kidding?
Here's the first pitch on the way to Eric Jones. That'll catch the outside corner with a curveball for strike one.
So you're a Seattle native. You go to school in Arizona. Are there Chili's out there in both those places?
There are Chili's in Arizona. Been to Chili's, I think, once. It was all right. Got to go again, larger sample size. Here's the 0-1. Curveball misses high and outside for ball one. I mean, we say it so much for these players. 10 at-bats, 20 at-bats. Can't judge them by that. And, I guess you got to give the same thing to Chili's.
I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I've been to Chili's, I'd be a pretty rich man, not going to lie.
Yeah, if only that were the case, Dana. Here's the 1-1. Curveball catches the outside corner again on Jones. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, you got Chili's. We got plenty of Dunkin' Donuts up here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
None in Seattle. Not
Are you
a Dunkin'
kidding me?
Donuts in place. The home of Starbucks.
Oh my gosh, I'd just keel over and die probably.
Here's the 1-2 from Fidel. Curveball swing and a foul off the foot of Jones. Really? Count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. But yeah,
no
imagine a place in the world without Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't want to imagine it. I've always thought Seattle would be a great city for me to visit. I love the rain. I like that kind of cold weather. I love the ocean. Nice people, but if there's no Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, what's the point of me even going?
You can get all the local, local coffee you want. Local coffee shops that charge you $5 for a cup of drip. I mean, you can't get enough of that, can you?
I just like my large ice regular.
Here's the wind and the 1-2. Curveball will miss outside and high from Fidel. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but I don't know if you couldn't get enough of Starbucks. There's one like every other block.
I know. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts through high school. I have an attachment to it, and that's something that, you build a relationship with an establishment like that, and I surely have, and I just can't give up on Dunkies at this point.
Here comes Scott Pickler out of the YD dugout. Sam Kessler warming in the YD bullpen. We'll see if Pickler decides to make a move right here with the right-hander Jones at the plate. Still 2 strikes on him. And he'll make the move down to the bullpen. Fidel's day is done. And Sam Kessler now in to pitch for YD. And we're going to take a quick break with the pitching change. Sam Kessler in to pitch for the Red Sox, his 5th game out of the bullpen for YD. An ERA just over 1 at 1.08. 1 save on the season, 8 1/3 innings pitch. He struck out 9 and walked just 2 for the 2nd straight time in as many innings. Dana, we've seen Scott Pickler go to the bullpen in the middle of an at-bat.
And honestly, at this point, there's not much that surprises me from Scott Pickler's bag of tricks, and especially considering that Kessler already saw Cotuit and pitched pretty well in game number 1 of that doubleheader back on Father's Day, when an inning and 2/3, the 2 hits, a couple of strikeouts for him, and he comes on in the seventh inning of a ball game where the Red Sox, they're trying to respond, right? So the tough loss last night to Chatham, but this is a team that's been getting on a roll, and if you can find ways to hold leads, even if they're slim, courtesy of your bullpen, it's a good sign of a winning team. So it's all hands on deck. Fidel comes in, gives you a little bit, gets a few outs. Now we'll see what Kessler can do.
And we saw when Fidel came into the game, he came in with a 3-2 count to Michael Tolia batting from the left side, switched him around to the right side of the plate, and Fidel flips a curveball up there, and Tolia didn't know what to do with it, strikes out, and Fidel gets out of the inning. And Kessler enters this count, 2-2 the count on 2-2 the count, and that next pitch will miss outside for ball 3. 3-2 the count on Eric Jones, the third baseman. And a full runner leads off of first. That's Bo Brundage led off this seventh inning with a leadoff single. Kessler, one of those trusted arms in that back end of the YD bullpen. As mentioned, already has a save on the season. He's got one of the guys Scott Pickler likes to go to in these kind of high-leverage situations, or at least pitching with a lead. 3-2 the count on Eric Jones. 0 for 2 so far today. Runner Brundage leads off first. There he goes. 3-2 pitch on the way inside, and it will hit Eric Jones right in the rib cage. And he will make his way down to first base. And with one out here in the seventh, Kettleers have runners on at first and second, and the tying run coming up to the plate in Michael Salvatore.
Not a great start to this appearance for Kessler. He wastes a fastball far away from the batter in the box and then comes in and plunks Jones right on the back.
So here's Salvatore, a double in the third and a fly out to center in the fifth. Now faces Kessler. He'll wind and fire home the first pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike one. Kessler, that sort of short arm, 3/4 delivery from the right side. Out of West Virginia, just finishing up his sophomore season there. Stares in, gets a sign from Kerner behind the dish. Peeks back at the runner Brundage at second. Kicks and will turn around and look Brundage back to the bag. No one holding him on. Kettleers threatening here in the seventh. 2 on, 1 out. Sox up 4-1. Kessler gets a sign from Kerner again. He'll wind. Here's the 0-1 offering. Fouled straight back. And Kessler, after throwing a ball and nailing Eric Jones with a fastball high and inside, quickly ahead on Salvatore. No balls and 2 strikes. Get a ground ball to one of his middle infielders. Get out of this. Well-placed ball at the bottom of the strike zone.
Even the strikeout would do.
Shade slowly making its way onto the infield here at Red Wilson. So now Kessler sets. Looks back at Brundage again. No one holding him on, and he'll step off. And now Christian Koss jogs in from his spot at deep second base, and will go over the signs again with Kessler. Probably going to talk about that daylight play. Make sure they're on the same page.
Well, they just got Bierman last inning. In the same sort of situation, Koss came in to chat with Fidel, make sure they were, all locked up together, and good things happened.
Well, the shortstop Hamilton shaded way over in the hole at short. Koss shaded more up the middle, so you think it's Koss who's going to give the daylight sign. And we'll see here as home plate umpire Bob Gardner calls time. Kessler gets his sign again from Kerner. He's set. Kicks. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back by Salvatore. Count will stay the same at no balls and 2 strikes. YD, they're 1 run back in the first inning, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. Mostly thanks to Andrew Dashbach, 2 doubles and a home run, has scored 3 of the 4 YD runs today. Kessler ahead of Salvatore, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's that pitch. That one's hit down the right field line, but it will hook foul right in front of the bleachers down that first base side.
And I like what Kessler's doing here against Salvatore, not wasting anything, forcing him to make swings that he's not going to put into fair territory, and not just wasting any pitches against a good hitter.
No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Salvatore. Kessler gets his sign, comes set. Here's the 0-2. That one is launched high and deep down the left field side, but it will hook foul and out of play. And the count stays the same at no balls and 2 strikes. A very loud, not even strike number 2. Just staying alive in the count. Salvatore only 9 at-bats in 3 games so far this season entering this contest. It's 2 for 5 in the 7-6 walk-off loss at Falmouth yesterday for these Kettleers with 2 RBIs. Playing second base for Cotuit today. Kessler stares in at Kerner again. Right-hander gets his sign, comes set right at the chest. He's back at Brundage. Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Kessler paints that fastball where Salvatore just could not pull the trigger on that pitch right there, and there's 2 down.
Great pitch from Kessler. Placed it perfectly, and you called it right, TJ. Salvatore he was caught flat-footed. He didn't know whether to swing or not. Elected not to. Hoped that home plate umpire would call it a ball. Not the case. Just nabbing that outer third. A great pitch from Kessler.
We have a pitch hitter for the Kettleers. That will be Peyton Burdick. And we'll pitch hit for Adam Oviedo, the shortstop. Mike Roberts trying to cash in here with 2 outs. 2 on for Cotuit. They trail by a score of 4-1 here in the top of the 7th. Burdick, of course, that memorable 3 home runs, 7 RBI performance on opening day. Not getting to start today as the next pitch bounces in the dirt, gets away from Kerner. Runners will advance a base and stop right there as Kerner collects it right near the Kettleers dugout, but runners now move up 90 more feet into scoring position.
Well, if you remember back in the 5th inning, it was a pass ball from Jensen Elliott that advanced Wood from first to second when the Kettleers couldn't move him over themselves, and then RBI single brings him in, and you hope that another error like that doesn't hurt the Red Sox on the scoreboard, because now a single's probably plating 2.
Kessler set again behind in the count. A ball and no strikes to Peyton Burdick. It's the next pitch on the way. Check swing. Burdick goes around. That evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Burdick, since that opening day, though, has not had the best Cape League season. Just 196 average and 46 at-bats. All of his extra base hits did come on that opening day. Next pitch on the way from Kessler. Swing and a miss by Burdick. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Just 5 for 42 since that opening day win against Brewster. Kessler set, strike away from getting out of the 7th inning. He kicks, here's the 1-2. Curveball misses down and inside. And that evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Some action still going on in the Red Sox bullpen. You got Mitch Turansky, lefty from Michigan State. Came in last night against Chatham. He's warming now.
Kessler winds. Here's the 2-2 on the way. That one is swung on and missed for strike 3. Blocked by Kerner, and the tag is applied to Burdick for out number 3. Kessler weaves in and out of trouble here in the 7th and keeps the Kettleers off the scoreboard and keeps the YD lead at 4-1. As we're stretching here at Red Wilson Field, Red Sox lead the Kettleers 4-1. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Schlegel and Schlegel Insurance Brokers Incorporated is located at 34 Main Street, Route 28 in West Yarmouth, Massachusetts. From auto insurance to home insurance, they're your spot to ensure all of your insurance needs are taken care of. Stop by or visit schlegelins.com to have your policy reviewed today. Bottom half of the 7th inning, YD in front of Cotuit, 4-1, 9-1-2 due up in the YD. In the YD order, Adam Kerner set to lead it off. Stepping to the plate for his 3rd time today. New pitcher on the mound for the Kettleers, Ryan Leffner. Out of St. Louis University, 3.11 ERA so far this season in 4 games. Kerner, the righty, will step in. Lefty Leffner fires home the first pitch, and it's over for a strike. That'll end the day on John Baker. Absolutely spectacular for Cotuit. Not quite up to his lofty standards as Kerner lines that one right at Bierman at first, and a leaping snag towards the foul line for out number 1. Kerner hits it hard, but ends up unlucky there for out number 1. Baker, 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. I'd say Baker pitched a lot better than he did. I mean, his line would look so much better. It didn't have to face Andrew Dashbach today. It's the first pitch to Zach Ashford, stepping to the plate for the 4th time today. Misses high and inside for ball 1. Next pitch, dribbles it right towards Jones at third base. He fields, throws on over to first in time for out number 2. 2 quick outs for Ryan Leffner. Here in the 7th inning, that'll bring up David Hamilton. Still looking to get on the board with his first hit as a Red Sox.
Leffner actually faced the Red Sox a couple of times already this summer. Got the win in game number 2 of that doubleheader. Went 2 innings plus, and then went 2 innings as well in the loss.
His first pitch on the way to Hamilton, missed down and away for ball 1. Hamilton so far in his Red Sox debut, 0 for 3. His next pitch fouled, straight back and out of play. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Should he reach, the red-hot Andrew Dashbach stands on deck. Next pitch lined right at the shortstop. He'll be there for out number 3. That'll retire the side. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Leffner here in the 7th. So we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Red Sox in front of the Kettleers, 4-1. Top of the 8th inning, YD in front of the Kettleers, 4-1. TJ Mathewson alongside Dana Gray from Red Wilson Field, game number 17 on the season for YD. So here in the 8th inning, Tristan Baker, the new pitcher on the mound for YD. He'll fire home the first pitch on the way to Will Robertson. He'll miss outside. Actually, that'll catch the outside corner for strike one. Baker in 5 games so far this season, ERA just under 3 at 2.84. Lefty will wind and fire home the first pitch. That one is grounded to the left side. Over is Waddell, the third baseman. Fields throws to Dashbach at first for out number 1. Waddell coming in last inning as a defensive replacement for Nick Quintana. And there's one down here in the 8th.
Great play from Waddell, moving from right to left, and that took a high bounce. He's not the tallest kid out there, but he gathered it and threw a dart across.
One of the more sure-handed middle infielders on this YD roster. So here is Zach Bierman, the first baseman, to face Baker. First pitch misses high and inside for ball 1. Baker out of Western Carolina. Out of the windup, he'll fire home the 1-0. Swing and a miss by Bierman. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bierman versus YD this season, absolutely on a tear. And that doubleheader alone, where he did all of his damage as Baker winds and fires home the 1-1. That'll miss down and inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count on Bierman. 4 for 6 with 4 RBIs. Had the walk-off base hit in game 1. It's also very good in game 2. Wind up, here's the 2-1 from Baker. Check swing, and it misses inside, but Bierman did not go around. Count now in the Cotuit first baseman's favor, 3 balls and a strike. Christian Koss now shading a little more in the hole out at second base. The windup, here's the 3-1 from Baker. Catches the outside corner with a fastball. Count now 3-2 on Bierman.
Baker's just really turning into an all-utility guy out of the bullpen, coming in a ton of different situations.
It's 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Baker challenges Bierman with a fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Bierman could not catch up to it for a strikeout. Strikeout number 1 for Tristan Baker. And there's 2 down here in the 8th.
And no surprise that Ryan Nelson is warming out in foul territory in left field. Should this game stay within the reach that it is, 3 runs, you'd have to think he's probably coming on in the 9th to shut the door.
Here's Michael Tolia batting from the right side for the second time today. Takes ball 1 outside from Baker. We saw Nelson on Wednesday spin 3 fantastic innings. Keep the Harwich Mariners down. This next pitch on the way catches the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count. Keep them down long enough for Adam Kerner to have that go-ahead RBI single in the top of the 11th inning. Then would come on and get 2 strikeouts in the bottom half of the 11th to close it out. Next pitch will miss high from Baker. 2-1 the count on Tolia.
Well, his stuff is just so overpowering. That fastball is, no one's been able to touch him really.
Out of the windup, here's the 2-1 from Baker. Swing and a miss by Tolia. Actually a foul tip into the glove of Adam Kerner. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nelson only 1 outing this season at Oregon, which he went 3 innings. And he went 3 innings Wednesday in Harwich. Here's the 2-2. That'll miss low for ball 3. 3-2. The count on Tolia. Second straight batter, Baker has had the full count. Should Tolia reach, Zach Humphreys, the new catcher, stands on deck. The windup, here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tristan Baker, 2 strikeouts here in the 8th inning as he sets down the Kettleers in order and keeps the YD lead at 3 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Andrew Dashbox strides the plate. First pitch swinging, and his bat goes flying out into the crowd, out behind the YD dugout. As he grounds to third, Jones will field and throw on over to first for out number 1. It's the broken bat, actually. So you see him carrying that handle back to the YD dugout. A wild sequence there for out number 1.
And a pretty cool souvenir for a fan. Oh, my God. You get pretty much all of the bat. Just the handle that's left in Dash's clutches. And
you see him looking back there, checking on the fans, making sure everyone's all right. So we're going to have a pinch hitter for Reese Albert. Ends his day 3 for 3. It'll be Quinn Cotton. Striding to the plate for the first time today. Thought he was going to get the day off, but the lefty on the mound, he's going to get an at-bat. Ryan in the first pitch from Ryan Smith catches the outside corner for strike 1. We thought it was Ryan Leffner, and they're back in the bottom half of the 7th inning, but it was actually Smith. So Leffner now out in his 2nd inning of work. So lefty will fire home. The next pitch misses high for ball 1, 1-1 the count on Cotton. Cotton didn't collect a hit yesterday against Chatham. 3 groundouts and a strikeout, batting cleanup for YD. Here's the 1-1 from Smith. That'll miss low. 2-1 the count on Cotton. Should he reach? Noah Campbell stands on deck. Just 1 out here in the 8th. For next pitch on the way, misses high. 3 balls and a strike the count on Cotton. Campbell came back in a pinch hit in the 6th inning. An RBI single. Plated YD's 4th run of the ball game. It's the 3-1 to Cotton, grounded right out to the second baseman. Corey Wood fields, throws on over to Bierman at first in time for out number 2. And that'll bring up Noah Campbell for the 2nd time today. He's going to turn it around and bat from the right side this time up. Got to bat left-handed against the Cotuit starter, John Baker, but now with Ryan Smith out on the mound, he'll switch around and bat right-handed. So Corey Wood moves from his designated hitter's role out to second base. Salvatore, the second baseman. First pitch to Campbell, a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count on Noah. Salvatore moves from second over to shortstop. The Cotuit defense. Here's the next pitch on the way. Check swing, foul ball right out to the right of home plate. And the count now 0 balls and 2 strikes on Campbell. Shade almost completely covering the infield here at Red Wilson Field. Sun still basking the outfield. Some of the fans sitting out beyond the left center field fence and the center field fence. It's the wind in the 0-2 to Campbell. High and inside. 1-2 the count on Noah. Pretty good crowd for a Saturday evening game here at Red Wilson. It's the 1-2 to Campbell. Misses high and away. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Johnny DeLuca stands on deck. Should he come to the plate for his 4th time? 2-2 pitch, ripped out to the hole at short. Salvatore fields, throws on over to first, in and out of the glove of Bierman at first. And the hustling Noah Campbell as safe at first. Gonna rule that an error on. Might be an E6. Yeah, they're going to give an error to Salvatore out at short. But Campbell reaches with two gone here in the 8th.
Bierman almost able to bail him out with the reach and almost had the pick. Might have even had it in his glove for a second. And I think he did think he had it before he looked and saw the ball rolling on the dirt.
Here's Johnny DeLuca for the 4th time today, batting from the right side. Ball in the dirt, squirts away from the catcher, Humphreys, but he'll collect it. Campbell stays put over at first base. DeLuca a strikeout, an RBI single, and then a pop out to third on a bunt back in the 6th inning. So now Campbell takes his lead from first, staring right into the sun when looking over at the mound. There he goes from first. DeLuca swings and pops it up into semi-deep left field. Over is the left fielder Robertson. He's there near the foul line, and he'll squeeze it for out number 3 here in the 8th. We head to the top half of the 9th. YD looks to protect the lead against Cotuit. They lead 4-1. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top half of the ninth inning, Tristan Baker looking to close it out for the Red Sox as 4, 5, and 6 due up in the Cotuit lineup, looking to chip away and tie this game or possibly take the lead. 3 to tie, 4 to take the lead here in the top of the ninth. We'll start with Zach Humphreys, the catcher. Struck out when he came in to pinch hit for Goldfarb back in the 6th inning. Baker winds, first pitch on the way. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. And we see Ryan Nelson up and throwing in the YD bullpen. His next pitch from Baker fouled straight back. Quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Humphreys. So it's a save opportunity. Coach Scott Pickler might want to use Nelson, but in every outing this season, it seems, Baker has gone at least 2 innings, something he seems very comfortable at. Out of the bullpen. Next pitch on the way. Misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes on Humphreys. Following him will be Bo Brundage and then Corey Wood. Out of the windup. Here's the 1-2. Swing and just gets a piece. Fouls it straight back. The count now stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
Not a bad situation to be in at all if you're Scott Pickler, to have a guy like Tristan Baker, lefty that you know has save potential, and Ryan Nelson, a righty, same thing.
Here's the 1-2 from Baker, way outside. Looks like it slips out of the hands of Baker, out of that left hand. And that evens up the count at 2-2. Out of the windup, here's the 2-2 from Baker. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another fastball at the top of the strike zone, and another strikeout for Tristan Baker. That's now 3 in a row and 1 out here in the 9th.
Kid is absolutely feeling it, and against some of the toughest Cotuit hitters in the lineup. He's gotten Bierman, Tolia, now Humphreys, all to go down, striking out, swinging.
Now here's Bo Brundage. The center fielder strides in for the 4th time today. First pitch from Baker over on the outside corner for strike 1. A single back in the 7th. A pop out to the pitcher, Jensen Elliott, and then a ground out again to Elliott in the 1st inning, 1 for 3. Next pitch misses low for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Just such a weapon to have out of the bullpen. Guy you know can go multiple innings and lock it down. The windup, here's the 1-1 from Baker. Fouled straight back. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes on Brundage. Sun almost completely canvassing the infield here at Red Wilson. Out of the windup, here's the 1-2 on the way. Popped up on the infield. Calling for it is David Hamilton, the shortstop. He's there right in on the infield grass, and he'll catch it for out number 2. And that means the last hope for the Cotuit Kettleers is Corey Wood.
Baker's just been phenomenal in pretty much every appearance that he's had for the Red Sox. Nothing short of spectacular so far, retiring 5 in a row. Those 3 strikeouts in between, a pop-out and a ground out. Now trying to close it down, give the Red Sox the win.
1 out to go for Tristan Baker. Out of the windup, here's the first pitch to Wood, right on the outside corner for strike 1. Infielders playing a little deep on the infield. Koss and Hamilton both standing on the outfield grass. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. Misses outside. 1-1 the count on Wood. 2 hits on the day, a singles in the 2nd and the 5th inning. Came around to score in the 5th. Also a fly out to left field in the 7th. Here's the 1-1, misses outside. 2-1 the count on Wood. Ryan Nelson now stopped throwing out in the YD bullpen, just standing out there on that mound, watching Tristan Baker. Here's the wind in the 2-1. Swing, and that one's dribbled over to Dashbach at first. Kicks off his glove, off his wrist into shallow right center field. Over is DeLuca. He'll get it back in, but not before Wood reaches with a kind of a lucky bounce single off the glove and wrist of Andrew Dashbach for a 2-out base runner here in the 9th.
Yeah, I can't fault Dashbach at all for that one. Hit with a ton of pace. He had to move for it and then took that bounce that you mentioned. If he makes that, yes, it's a spectacular play, but not one that you'd expect to be made.
Now here's Eric Jones. Last hope again for the Cotuit Kettleers. Hit by a pitch last time up in the 7th. First batter that Sam Kessler faced out of the bullpen. Out of the windup, here's the first pitch from Baker. First pitch swinging, fouls it straight down the third base line. 0-1 the count on Jones. You got to wonder how much that sun also affected Andrew over there at first. As he's going over to his right, he dips from the shade right back into the sun, right in his eyes, looking in towards home plate. Might have thrown him off a little bit there and seeing that tricky bounce. As Baker set again on the rubber. Here's the 0-1. High and outside with a fastball, 1-1. The count on Jones.
Though if you're Baker, you just want to do the same exact thing that you got Wood to do. A ground out most of the time. That's going to be enough to record an out.
Luke Waddell protecting the line at third. No doubles. Defense on the infield for YD. Next pitch, a curveball misses high. On the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike on Jones. Waddell playing almost out on the grass over there at third. Outfielders all playing deep. Christian Koch shaded up the middle from his second base position. Hamilton, the shortstop, playing in the hole. Here's the 2-1. Catches the outside corner with a high fastball. On the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Baker is a strike away.
Jones can't believe it. He was grinning back at the home plate umpire, Bob Gardner. He was shocked that was called a strike, and I'm kind of as well, as Kerner completely got out of his crouch, moved away to catch that baseball. Nevertheless, 1 strike away.
Baker set on the rubber, out of the stretch, looks at the runner the first. There he goes. 2-2 on the way, fouled straight back. And we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going on the pitch was Corey Wood at first. No attempt to hold him on over there at first by Dashbach. Just looking to cover the most ground over there at first and secure that 27th out of the ball game. Baker quickly gets a sign from Kerner again. Here's the 2-2. Curveball just misses upstairs. You can see the almost a little flinch right there from Bob Gardner behind home plate, but couldn't get the call. Full count now on Eric Jones, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner at first, Corey Wood, takes his lead. There he goes. The next pitch is lined out into right field. There is Johnny DeLuca. He has it for out number 3 and win number 9 for the YD Red Sox as they take down the Cotuit Kettleers by a score of 4-1 here at Red Wilson Field on a beautiful Saturday evening.
Just a good game all around from YD. Clean defensively, no errors. 11 hits. Maybe some situations where you'd like to score a couple of more runs. YD stranded a few guys at scoring position. But for the most part, timely hitting. Andrew Dashbach comes up clutch once again, showing the power and some solid starting pitching as well. A lot to like from this one.
Man, this is a pitcher that they were able to get to today. John Baker enters the day. An ERA just a hair over 1 was absolutely spectacular for the Kettleers, and the Red Sox able to touch him up for 11 hits and 4 runs in 6 innings. He gets the loss here today. The winning pitcher for YD, Jensen Elliott, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts on the evening. And with that win, Red Sox now improve to 9-6-2 on the season here in week number 3, and the Kettleers will drop back to 500 at 8-8. And barring the outcome of the Harwich-Chatham game, which is just getting underway at Veterans Field, that got away just about 15 minutes ago from Chatham. Decide whether or not the Red Sox are able to move back into first place, entering the evening, YD trailing Harwich by 1 point in the standings. The Mariners stand at 9-7-1. One last time from Red Wilson Field for the Red Sox, 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors. For the Kettleers, 1 run on 7 hits and 1 errors. Red Sox pick up win number 9 on the season. For Dana Gray, I'm TJ Mathewson. We say thank you for listening to YD Red Sox Baseball and say so long from Red Wilson Field.